So this was one of the most fun games of Tuesday night for me, Cart. Are you there? Do I need to call the authorities? Are you
No,
okay?
you don't need to call the authorities. You need to call BYU Athletics and the AD and let them know that shit ain't sweet in the Big 12, my brothers, okay? This ain't Pepperdine. You're not going on the road to San Diego anymore, okay? There's not a very late middle of the week trip to Loyola Marymount. Shit's real. Welcome.
For the record, they were not in Pepperdine or Loyola Marymount's conference previously.
They were in the Mountain West.
Yeah, right.
Wait, no, I'm right. I was right. They're in the WCC.
BYU was?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you are right.
Yeah, what the hell?
Wait a second. BYU's been in that conference the last 10 years,
Yeah, like with Gonzaga, right?
and they haven't been winning it?
Yeah, yeah. Hold on a second. How dare you?
I'm sorry. How did we go from BYU being an afterthought in the West Coast Conference to a top 5 team on KenPom before they play Big 12 games? Like, what am I missing here? What happened? But also, like, they never did anything notable in the WCC. Did they ever
I
make
mean,
the
they they
conference?
they, they gave Gonzaga a couple games.
Oh, hang the banner. We gave Gonzaga a game. Good God. I thought they were in the Mountain West. That's horrendous by me. I'm sorry. I can't even blame the cookies. That's just a mistake on my part. Wow, I ruined a great intro from you too. Let's try and salvage this and move on. They were on the road against Baylor. I was on Baylor -4 as my play of the day yesterday. It felt terrifying for long stretches of this game because BYU was outplaying Baylor for long stretches of this game. But it's just hard to keep up with Baylor for 40 minutes, at least at home. Baylor really won the second half here. 48-33 was the score of the second half alone. Baylor was making shots. They're the number one three-point shooting team in the country. I also thought like BYU is a team that loves to shoot the three. They attempted 24 of them in this game, but the game before this, BYU attempted 46 threes. So I honestly thought it was pretty good from Baylor to limit them to only 24 three-point attempts. What does this say more about? Does this say more about BYU or Baylor to you?
It says more about BYU. It's just we need to pump the brakes a little bit. We need to log off Ken Pom for a second. We need to pull the classic use analytics and use eye test tool. This BYU team is not bad by any stretch of the imagination. I don't want to say that, but they're not a top five team in the country, according to some. They're a good basketball team. They're a fringe top 25 basketball team in my eyes.
Fringe 25, that's harsh.
Fringe. They're fringe.
That's
Yes.
harsh. They're definitely a top 25 team. Definitely.
Are they definitely?
You loved them in the non-con. You were texting me like, this team's good. We need to bet on them.
I did, but as much as I started watching, I started watching them more, and I was like, okay, that was fun. That was a fun Feast Week team. I enjoyed that. But like after Feast Week, like you got to throw away the leftovers. You know what I'm saying? You got to move on. You got to get back on track. And I got back on track with this BYU team.
If this team was in the WCC this year, do they win the WCC?
No,
I think they're the best team in the WCC this year. Gonzaga's down.
they can't do it. They're too mentally weak to win the WCC.
So what, are they just going to get smoked in the Big 12 then? Like they're 0-2 to start with a
I
home loss to
I
Cincy?
think there's a real shot that they get smoked this year in the Big 12.
That's crazy, man.
Like I can't I am salivating at the opportunity to get TCU as like a home dog against BYU.
New Big 12 editions are 2-5 in conference play to start the year.
It's hey man.
That
It's just
includes a Houston loss at Iowa State, by the way, which we're going to talk about.
it's different.
Okay. Where are you at with Baylor? You saw this Baylor team get absolutely destroyed by Michigan State in Little Caesars Arena about a month ago now. They've bounced back nicely, I would say. They picked up that overtime win where they kind of showed some stuff late at Oklahoma State. and they've pretty much destroyed everybody else. Had a really nice decisive win against Cornell when they opened the gym. Ray J. Dennis has been awesome, even though we were skeptical of him. You love Jacoby Walter. Like, there are reasons to really love this Baylor team. I just know that Michigan State game scared you so much. Where are you at with them right now?
Yeah, so I look at that Michigan State Baylor game as a one-off situation. I just don't think they got off the bus in that day, and Michigan State rightly took advantage of that. Um, but I also don't think like Baylor's like I think like a top five team is what they were at the time, like top six. I don't think they're that high. I think Jacoby Walter needs to find some kind of consistency. But you know how he affects the game in other ways always make sure he should be on the court because even when he's not going offensively, I think he does great things defensively and affecting the game. Ray J. Dennis has been amazing, like just been awesome. He's really, really good. Misi's been good down low. They're starting to get contributions from like the Langston Loves on this team, and Jalen Bridges is just very consistent. So Scott Drew has himself a really good team here. And I don't think I'll ever be able to shake Baylor. I think there's another level that they can reach. I don't know what their ceiling is. They don't like strike me as like a Final Four team by any stretch of the imagination. But if Baylor was in the Final Four at the same time, like I wouldn't be like, oh, how'd they make it there? Like I see the path for them, I think.
Okay. Yeah, and it feels like the year is opening up more. Like the teams we thought were elite head and shoulders above teams have serious concerns to me now. So it goes back to that list we made. We're like, let's look at the top 20 teams. Who can we actually see winning a title? I find myself talking myself into Baylor more and more as this goes because they do have great guard play, one of the best backcourts, if not the best backcourt in the country. And I trust Scott Drew. And I love that they opened a new arena. I'm in on this. Last question from me. Baylor beats BYU. KenPom now has BYU 11th in the country and Baylor 13th in the country. Your thoughts?
Has BYU 11th and Baylor 13th?
Correct. Yes.
Kenneth, come on.
Sound like a
Come on,
disappointed
man.
dad.
Yeah, you're better. Come on. Me and you've had a good relationship this year. Let's not do this.
Okay. All right.
I don't want to fight with you.
We'll
I
keep
like
an
us.
eye. We'll keep an eye on BYU. Does Ken win you back since he has Indiana like 95th?
It's too high, honestly.
All right. Click subscribe so you don't miss any of our previews and recaps this season. Congrats to Baylor fans, BYU fans. I'm sorry I didn't know what conference you've been in for the last 15 years, but also like maybe do something. Maybe like win it for once. Is that too much to ask?